Hey, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets, aka Carol the Coach, and this is Boo, and we're here to talk to you about sexual addiction and partner trauma. You know, it is such a serious situation and it is devastating. It fractures relationships. Thank you, Boo. I wanted the people to feel very comfortable and know that I get how relationships are. I get that it is so important to be able to come to a middle ground. If you're watching this video, you want to get healthy. If you're an addict, you want to find out what you can do to improve your recovery tools. If you're single, if you are married, you may want to know, what do I do to restore and repair my relationship? If you're a partner, you just want to make sense of all this. So you're doing whatever you can to make it a better situation. And I get that. And I'm here for you no matter whether you're single, with kids, without kids, with partner, without partner, or if you're married and you get that this is an issue of addiction, so you're willing to do a little bit more to see if you can't restore the relationship. And I got to tell you, it doesn't always work that way. And on rare occasions, I hear from somebody who thinks they want a divorce. And when they come into my office and they say they want a divorce, I applaud them for their honesty, because it takes a lot to say, I don't want to be in a relationship like this anymore. Maybe the addict doesn't want to hurt the partner. And he knows that he's not ready, he's not in a place, he's not in a space to really do the hard work that this is going to take. Now, I say the hard work, but I got to tell you, the cost benefit analysis, that's what one of my business clients who's a sex addict says. I have to always think about that. I'm relationship oriented, but he says, that cost benefit has to equal what I'm going to get out of the relationship. And maybe you are somebody who's not sure that you're ever going to be able to repair the relationship. And therefore, it's easier to walk away than to do the hard work, to trust, to work, to go through the pain. Because partners, here's what I know. Addicts who have been discovered or who have confessed oftentimes experience so much anger and angst and anguish that it's very, very painful for them, and they go right into shame. Now, I was recently reading some material that said shame is selfish. If you're an addict and you're going into shame, you got to move that around, because to stay in shame means that you're probably not going to work hard. Because you don't believe in yourself. You're thinking you're a bad person. And truly, you want to move forward. But if you're one of those addicts who isn't sure they want to be married, they may have the mentality of, the grass is always greener on the other side. If I were single, what I want and when I want it would allow me to get it if I weren't tied into somebody else. And I get that mentality too. There's a lot of people out there that say, yeah, what you want when you want it. Wow, that gets you what you think you want. And it spares you a lot of pain in that you don't have the pain of hurting someone else beyond this. But if sex addiction is an intimacy disorder, and if you want to continue to have multiple relationships, perhaps it's anonymous sex, perhaps it's sex for bartering, Perhaps it's sex to build your self-esteem. Perhaps it's sex that provides this dopamine hit, just like coke, just like meth, just like crack. You know, how healthy do you think that is? That you're looking for something to light up that reward center with no consequences to your children, your wife or ex, your work. You see, I say that because if you have tried to control this and you've not been able to, this is going to bite you in your butt. And what I mean by that is it's going to take you down. It'll take you down either in terms of yourself, eventually you'll have self-loathing, or it's going to take you down in that it may interfere with your work. You may lose your job because you stay up all night and you don't have the energy during the day because you're looking at porn, or you're cruising web chat rooms, or you're out with hookers, or you're out exposing yourself. I mean, you know that this compulsivity has gotten worse, and it will continue to get worse. That's my promise. I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you, with sexual addiction, intensity and frequency means it gets worse. You might go, oh, no, I've been looking at the same porn forever. I promise you that's going to change. So, back to my story here. If you're doing this for the reward center, to have that hit, I gotta say, hey, what's inside of you that is missing that desire for intimacy, connection? Where's that hit? And you know, unless you're polyamorous, you probably can't have sexual addiction and a relationship. We do live in a monogamous society, and I promise you that whoever you're with, whether she just be a girlfriend, a casual date, another wife, an ex-wife, it's going to hurt her or him. And is that what you really want to do? So I'm going to absolutely, positively challenge you to look at, why are you contemplating divorce? So here's what I believe. I work with sex addicts. I'm certified by ITAP, and they certify all sexual addictions therapists. I shouldn't say all. There's a couple other organizations, but this is the oldest, the biggest, and I think the best. And then APSATS, which is the partner trauma organization for all partners, specifically women, but we work with everybody. And what I know to be true is that oftentimes when you've discovered your husband's sexual addiction, you go into a state of anxiety that moves into trauma. And then you're dealing with your own inability to control your life, your symptomatology, your beliefs about yourself, and it just rocks your whole world. So when I hear somebody saying, I want a divorce, I have to say, you know, more than likely, I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. But I have a bias towards keeping it together. And I'm going to promote any book, any program, any research that suggests that you do the hard work, you heal the wounds, the wounded soul, you repair your sense of self, and once you do that, then you tell me I want a divorce, and I'll say, okay, you've done the hard work. You're not supposed to be with this person. I don't want you to hurt him or her, and I don't want you to be hurt anymore. But do your work. And what I know is that in my APSATS training, When we work with the partner on that multidimensional partner trauma, when we work with the addict to help him do the hard work of finding out about his attachments, his dependency or lack thereof, his personality disorders. Is there something working against him? Is he borderline personality? Is he narcissistic? Is he a dependent personality? You know, what's going on there? So you do the psychological as well as the recovery, and you help both people feel more safe, more grounded, more resourced. You help them both grieve what's happened in their relationship, and then you work on the restoration. I have always said, even before I started my sexual addiction training, you know, when you're working with conflict, you have to have faith in yourself that you'll weather the storm, faith in your relationship that it can weather the storm, it can get stronger. If you do the hard work, it'll work. Or faith in your higher power that things are going to happen that are going to promote a healthier relationship. That's any conflict, let alone this humongous conflict you're dealing with right now. And so if you want a divorce, I'm going to ask you to work on yourself first. And work with if you're a sex addict, a CSAT who's partner trauma sensitive, or an APSAT who absolutely knows how to work with sex addicts too. There are several of us that are CSATs and APSATs. Do the hard work. Notice the benefits. Notice how no longer does it feel like hard work. It feels like hope, strength, and recovery. And then come back, tell me what you want. And as a life coach and a therapist, I'll help you make it happen. Because if you've done that hard work and you still want to be divorced, you know, I really believe that's what you need to do. So, I'm Carol the Coach, a.k.a. Carol Jorgensen Sheets. I am so happy to be with you, as was Boo. You know, I just had a surgery today, and look at me. I had some extra time. I said, I want to be with you. If you would help me out, if you would go to Amazon or ebookit.com, buy Sex Addiction, Wisdom from the Masters. Every penny of that book that I promote goes to research for sex addiction and partner trauma. I would love that. I so appreciate you hanging with me on a Monday night, and I'll see you back for more Sex Help with Carol the Coach. Have a great day, night, morning, whatever.